Skyzone.Society.
Into but if you don't, welcome to the Zone Sports Podcast. On one half for your host, your boy Big V. For my people on the YouTube, you see my guy over there still repping North Carolina as he's supposed to. If you don't see him on the YouTube, you hear him on the Soundcloud. But on behalf of my host, yo, what's going on, my guy?
Yo, what's up, man? Yo, it's your boy Corey, never telling the same old story. It's your boy Cool C, aka COOL. What the hell? What's going on, Big Vito?
Man, you already know what it is, you know what I mean? But yo, man, before we jump the podcast off, you know I gotta let the people know who we sponsored by, Big Dog. You know what I mean? We sponsored by my brand, Skyzone.Society. Make sure you shopping at Skyzone.Society.BigCartel.com. You know what I mean? It's getting hot out there, man. Go over there, get you a dad hat, get you a snapback. You know what I mean? We got some fitteds for you. You know what I mean? Custom branded, all that. Get some candles, have your crib smelling like spring and summer and all that, man. You know what I mean? But yo, Corey, man, how was your week, man? How is your week? Do I even need to ask, man?
Well, I don't think it's a simple good or bad, depending on your perspective in life. I mean, it just seems like so much has happened since we last spoke. And I would say in the micro, from a sports standpoint, could have been better. As a macro, looking at the totality, hey man, we all right. We all right though. Yep. We all right. We all right, man. We all right. You know, how about you?
Man, I'm good, man. You know, it was a hell of a sports weekend. You know what I mean? Hell of a sports weekend. Other than that, yeah, man, life is good, man. Everything is good on my end. You know, I would say I've been going through some of the joys of being a dad of a 19-year-old daughter. I would say that, you know what I mean? So
nice.
Yeah. However you want to look at it, nice or not, you know what I mean? You know, some growing pains had to happen, you know what I mean?
Okay.
But, you know, we all go through them, you know. That's all, man. It was, you know, just I had to have some, you know, teachable dad moments, you know what I mean?
And you never, and from what I hear out in these streets, you never stop being a dad.
Man, listen, you don't. You never stop being a parent, man. A period. It's tough, man. It's tough, man.
Respect.
But you know, everybody's good, man. The kids are good. The wife is good, man. We all good, man. But Corey, I must say, man, my heart is not good, man. My heart is half broken, man. You know what I mean? You know,
I understand the half you're talking about.
Yeah, man. For my people that don't know, man, while my heart is half torn, you know, our Tar Heels lost the national championship. You know what I mean? This past Monday night to Kansas. Hell of a game, though. It shouldn't have been a hell of a game, but basic Tar Heel style, man. We had to make it something, man. We had to make it something, and it didn't come out on our end great, man. But you know, Corey, man, I want to get your reaction to the game. Of course, you know, we're all happy that we beat Duke. You know what I mean? Yeah. I showed everybody how happy I was. If you follow me, you know what I mean? I was really passionate about that one. And you know what I mean? I just really was. And I explained my passion, you know what I mean, after I give you the floor, man. I want to get your reaction, though, man, you know, on the championship game, man, Monday night, man.
Yeah. Well, you know, let me let the zoners know what you text me before the game.
Yeah.
From Big V. Big V.
Okay, let's start there.
9:06 p.m. This is going to be a tough one. My reply back to you immediately was that we got this, bro. Damn it, we got it. And damn it, Big Vito, we had it. And then Big Vito, we lost it. Big V, man, listen. Watching that championship game, I had a lot of mixed emotions because, first of all, Kansas
they got long guys. Pause. Right? Like the guy that Baycott was guarding, and his name escapes me at the moment. He is tall as a treetop. He seems like he's 12 feet tall, the brother that Baycott was in charge of guarding in the post. And I knew from a defensive standpoint, he was going to be a problem. And what I saw during the first half of this game, I'm talking about, my mouth was just dropped to the floor. Keep in mind that Baycott was still injured with the rolled ankle that he had against Duke. And I was just like, what in the world is going on from just a shocking standpoint? Like, yo, this is, it's like, I never seen a season quite like this. And pundits will argue the 93 team, if I'm not mistaken, where I can't even name a player on that team when we won a national championship against the Fab Five. I can't name not one player on that team. We was not favored.
Was that Eric Montross in them? No?
It may have been. It may have been. Don't get me the line. I have to look it up. But anyway, we weren't favored to win that year. Even though this part I did do research on, we still came in as a number 1 seed in our respective region that year. This was not that year. We came in number 8. And I just don't remember seeing a season, because expectations set everything. And we talked about this last podcast, so I ain't going to dwell too deep into it, but it was almost like there was 2 seasons in one, where the top of the season with the losses that we had to Pitt, Wake Forest, the first loss to Duke, there's definitely some that I'm forgetting right off the top of my head, where it's like, man, dude, just let's make the tournament and let's just see if we can at least make it out the weekend. That was my initial expectation going into the tournament. And then when we beat Duke in Cameron Indoor, I was still like, okay, well, look, it's Duke. It happens. It don't matter where you rank. It don't matter who's on the team. It's always going to be a good one. I still thought that was a good win. We went to the ACC tournament and lost to Virginia Tech, and I was like, okay, this is about where we've been at for the season. And then the tournament happened, and it's like, okay, well, let's just, I'm setting mini goals over the micro goals over the mini goals, and it's like, okay, well, let's just get out the weekend. Let's just see what happens. And with the exception of St. Peter's, Carolina is known for making it an ESPN Classic, which I hate because if you're a fan, drives you insane, Big V. And so backing up to Friday, if I'm not mistaken, when we beat Duke to get to the national championship game, I was just like, yo, this is crazy.
Saturday.
Thank you. Saturday. And we had this debate before, a conversation before, won't go too deep into that, what is more important to you, beating your rivalry or winning it all? And the perspective matters, and it varies, because I would argue in pro sports, it is important, but it ain't like it is in college. Like, you can mess around and lose your job in college if you don't beat your rival. Ask Jim Harbaugh with your Michigan Wolverines in football, or whatever. And so I was just so torn about this. Like, man, we don't have not one, but we got 2 opportunities to where, hey, we showed Coach K the door, gave him the good old parting gift, not once, but twice, right? There is not a reason to be happy about that. But, but Big V, here they come. Here they come. The Duke Blue Devils. Well, here we go. One of my homeboys, who I won't name. Well, you got to finish the job off, right? Hey, whoa. Time out. We can have 2 separate conversations, even though it may lead to the same goal at the end. This ain't about y'all. This is, let us relish in the fact that we beat y'all not once but twice, and sent your Hall of Fame coach home packing not once but twice. That is something, I don't care if we lost the tournament. This is coming from a Tar Heel fan. I do care that we lost. Let me back up. I do care that we lost, because I do wish we could have finished it off. But beating them kind of soothes the loss of the championship game. And I here they come. I can already hear them already, Big V. Well, if that's your goal, then that's fine. But we aim for bigger things like championship. Bullshit. Shut up. Ain't trying to hear that. Both things could be true at the same time. They can be true at the same time. And yes, we lost the championship game. No question. Should we have won? Yes. And you know what, Big V, getting back to this championship game, because that is the original subject matter that you just bestowed upon us. Right when halftime came, and I heard the announcers might have been Bill Rafferty or Grant Hill. I can't remember which one. And they said no team has ever come back from, if I want to say 15 points down in a national championship game. If Kansas win this, they will be making history. And Big V, when I heard that, I said, oh, crap. We done got jinxed. We done got jinxed, Big V. I was sitting here holding my beer, biting my nails. And I don't even bite my nails. I just needed something to do because Big V, when that second half started, I was like, oh, hell, man. Because I know Bill Self well enough to know that he is not one of those coaches who are going to let what happened to him in the first half happen again in the second half.
Yep.
And somebody brought up a good point. When they made the adjustments, they started off with a full court press several times. We were trying to inbound it. They got more aggressive in the paint or whatnot, because during the first half, they just kept missing so many open layups.
Yeah.
I'm like, they're not going to miss that many layups in the second half. And then they got more aggressive, even though their guy was in foul trouble, the one that was guarding Baycott.
Yeah.
And I was like, something's going to change. But I said, if we could weather the storm, and I said, I told my wife, I said, if we could get within 2 minutes of the game where it's at least 3 to 5 points, we still stand a chance, right? And then Caleb Love rolled his ankle. With about 39 seconds to go, Baycott rolled his ankle, or if I'm not mistaken, he fouled out. One of the two happened. Both of the two happened. Whatever. And I knew that it was going to be tough. And I still had a glimmer of hope, because when Caleb Love took that last second shot, I really thought it was going to go in. I had no idea it was going to be an air ball. And when Manick threw the ball away, but old buddy had stepped out of bounds and we got the ball back, I said, oh, this is still going to be that season. I'm up here screaming at the TV, Big V, give Caleb Love the ball. He got this, right? And he didn't. He airballed it. And, you know, I'm not going to kill the Tar Heels. I'm not going to kill Hubert Davis. I'm not going to kill Manick. I'm not going to kill RJ. I'm not killing none of these guys, man, because the thing is, without Caleb Love taking that shot against Duke, with what, like 20 seconds ago, where I was like, where he was taking the Steph Curry semi-logo shot. Yeah. I was telling my homeboy Keith, when I saw what he was getting ready to do on Saturday, with 20 seconds ago, I'm like, no. And then it went in. And I was like, yes. Yeah. I can't tell him not to take that shot, Big V. So in all things fair and me wrapping up, you know, I'm happy that we beat Duke. Is that the goal of the season? Of course not. But damn it, this is college athletics. This is one of the, because we sit up here, and we're going to talk about this a little bit later. But, you know, rivalries matter, dog. Like they do. It is the lifeline of collegiate athletics. I believe so in pro sports too, but they change so much in sports with the exception of like the Yankees and the Red Sox, you know, and stuff like that. But college is edged in. You know what I'm saying? And I feel good about the boys. You never want to get to the championship game and lose because it is so hard to get to. It really is. And I fear the pessimistic side of me is I fear that I'm hoping this won't be a Dan Marino type deal for Hubert Davis, where you go, you won't get back, or it may be tough to get back. Because now the thing with Hubert Davis, before I let you go, is that, those expectations playing for us spoiled fans, they are through the roof right now. As Michael Jordan would say, the ceiling is the roof,
baby.
And so now it's kind of like it's going to really be on now to see what players that Hubert brings in, and to see what happens. But overall, I'm proud of the boys. We didn't, and look, as the Duke fans would say, we did not finish, but we did beat y'all, and I take solace in that.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I agree with you on a lot that you said, man. I'm gonna start back, to our text message conversation. Corey, I ain't gonna lie to you. I didn't have us winning that championship, man. I didn't.
Yeah.
I texted my homeboy and I told him, I said, Kansas bench is too deep for us to win. We only play our starting five. Plus one.
To death.
Plus one with Johnson. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. You cannot be a team like Kansas with playing 6 players. It is impossible, dog. I don't give a fuck how nice your starting five is. You're not beating that team with 5 players. You cannot, yo. You just cannot. They swing the ball too fast. They run and gun. You know what I mean? You got Self over there coaching the hell out of them boys. You just can't do it. You can't do it. Yeah. I knew that we did not have enough firepower to do that. I knew it. So, but when you told me that, yo, we got this, I ain't gonna lie. It was like a shot of some Popeye spinach went through my vein. I said, we do got this. We got this. Then the next thing I know, man, we was up by 15 first quarter. I said, oh, not first quarter, first half. I said, oh my God, Corey was right. We got this. Second half, not so fast, my friend. No.
Yeah.
Corey, man, what a game, though. What a game.
Hell of a game.
Man, I just hate that they gave it away. As typical of, as what they've done this season. It's typical fashion of them. They did the same thing with Baylor, if you've been paying attention.
Yes, sir.
I mean, gave away that 25-point lead and made it a fucking ESPN classic for no apparent reason. Just put them away. I was screaming, put them away at the start of the second half. Put them away. Every free throw we missed, I kept telling the TV, no, we needed that point. Put them away. We cannot leave anything on the table, man. Put them away.
That's right.
But man, the only knock I got on the final seconds was I felt like Caleb Love shot the ball a little bit too early. That's the only knock I have on us.
It's like we kept trying to force a 3 with 30 seconds to go.
And we didn't have to.
Need one. We could have just. I wish someone would have drove and see if we could have drew a foul.
Absolutely, we could have. I'm pretty sure that could have been possible, but we never know now. You know what I mean? And that other than them giving away the lead, the only other knock is I feel like Caleb shot the ball a little bit too early in those seconds. Hats off to Kansas, though. They did the damn thing.
No question.
As I knew they would.
No question. Salute to Kansas.
Yeah, man. But I gotta tell you, I told you at the start of the show, I'm half heartbroken because we didn't win the chip. I wanted that chip for Davis so bad. First year, can you imagine, Corey? Can you imagine? Jesus.
Right.
Can you imagine?
You're talking about the fact that this is his inaugural season and getting to the championship game and winning in your first year.
Yeah.
And a black head coach on top of that.
Yeah.
There's some black head coaches around that won championships before. But we know, historically speaking, how D1, how you got the role to even get a D1 coaching job.
Yep.
And I was actually rooting for that moment of history more so than the game itself, even though I know they all tie in together.
Yeah.
I would have loved that, man. I would have loved that. And shout out to Roy Williams for when he left, making sure that the cupboard wasn't bare. I'm telling you, Big V, normally in circumstances, you look at St. Peter's, who head coach is now coaching Seton Hall. 3 or 4 of they daggone players from St. Peter's are entered the transfer portal.
Yeah, I saw that.
Big V, Yep. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think nobody left after Roy Williams left. It might have been Kessler. It might have been the tall white guy, like about 7 feet. He might have been the only one. But what I'm saying is the core group of the North Carolina Tar Heels stayed there when Hubert there, and they could have left, and they did not, especially in this transfer portal, man. So I don't know what Roy Williams said or did. I don't know how much of it was him. I don't know how much of it was Hubert Davis. But somebody taught them players in the stand. And I might not be giving them enough credit. Maybe the players say, "Hey, no, we're going to stand. We're going to work for this guy." Maybe they did.
Maybe. Either way, man. Salute, man. Let me hit the air horns for Hubert Davis, man.
Absolutely.
Let me hit the air horns for Hubert Davis. We talked on this podcast about how we can't recall a season where either Duke or Carolina has stolen twice.
Yeah.
We stole twice this year. And you know what makes it so fucking sweeter, yo? This was Coach K's last year.
That's what it is.
He cannot come back and redeem himself. And I start this podcast and I say, my heart is half torn. I gotta take that back. My heart is only 10% torn. I'm 90% full of joy just because we beat the shit out of Duke twice this year. I promise you, dog. And not only that, dog, we beat them in the first Final Four ever that we've met. I'm saying. That we've met. My heart is 90% full of joy because honestly, I told my homeboy who's fucking from Danville, Virginia, you know what I mean, who wanted to put his fucking mouth on my Carolina team. Yeah, nigga, I know you listen. I'm talking about your ass. Hope you hear the fucking podcast, nigga. I'm gonna leave your name off, but I'm gonna talk my shit on my platform about you, nigga. Yeah, my nigga from Danville, Virginia, want to put his mouth on us. Y'all gonna lose the Duke game. Y'all gonna lose the Duke game. Oh. We shut you the fuck up that night though. But what happened after we won that game? You know what I mean? Oh, y'all gonna lose the ship anyway. I hate niggas like that. I hate niggas that I hate.
They'll switch the conversation. See, we talking about conversation A. We ain't talking about the championship game.
They keep moving the goalposts. You dig what I'm saying in the conversation? I don't like that shit because keep it on what you said. You said we was gonna lose the Duke. You said, first of all, let's take it back. You said we was gonna lose in the regular season. We waxed that ass the last game when it counted and made that first spoil. Then on the first Final Four that Duke and Carolina ever met, he told me, y'all gonna lose tonight. I hope y'all lose this and third. I got 500 on it. I should have fucking took you up on that bet, nigga, because I would have been 500 rich on your ass. But I said, no, listen, I'm not a betting guy. I just want to watch the game. We're gonna win. Tar Heels. Go Tar Heels. Won that game. Y'all gonna lose the ship. You know what, man? I'm switching gears here, bro. I'm gonna switch to the Out of Pocket segment.
Let's go.
This show, I'm switching to the Out of Pocket segment. Let's fucking go. Cause you know what, man? A lot of you niggas is out of pocket. A lot of you fucking Duke fans, and a lot of you niggas is not Duke fans, is out of pocket after this Carolina loss. Let me start here.
Pocket for a big V.
Let me start here with my guy from Danville, my Mr. Out of Pocket guy. Yo, first of all, it blows my mind how he kept moving the goalpost and he talked big shit to me after we lost the championship. I had to think about it. I had to ask him, dog, your team is named after a Chevrolet that they don't even make no more. A Cavalier. A fucking Cavalier. Let's start there. Oh, you're not a fan of Virginia Cavaliers. Got it. You're a fan of the Virginia Tech Hokies. Got it. Explain to me exactly what the fuck a Hokie is. I'll wait. I also wait while y'all muster up and tell me when the last time that y'all have won anything worth talking about. I know Virginia won a couple years ago, but fuck all that. Y'all niggas was trash that year too. Y'all are trash. And another thing. Yo, Duke fans, quick reminder. We beat y'all in the first Final Four this year. I don't want to hear nothing from y'all after this championship loss, dog, because here's the thing, right? If it would have been y'all, you wouldn't have heard from us. We would have been glad y'all lost. We wouldn't have been riding the fucking Kansas Jayhawks dicks like y'all are. Oh, Kansas understood the assignment. Oh my God. You know what? They did. You niggas didn't. You niggas didn't understand the assignment at all. No, y'all fucking, not once but twice, y'all blew the fucking assignment. You out of pocket fucks. Shut up. I don't want to hear from you niggas. Stop hitting my phone. Stop riding the Jayhawks dicks, because that's what y'all are doing. Stick with your team. Your team didn't understand the assignment, motherfucker. Y'all didn't. I don't want to hear from y'all. Kansas, you niggas look ridiculous talking about Kansas understood the assignment. It's amazing how y'all ride niggas dick so fast. It's disgusting.
Can I add something? I want to add something real quick.
Please do.
I want to get back to the when we played Duke and Cameron indoor. We was a bubble team prior to that. With us beating them the way that we did,
we got ranked. We top 25.
So you could argue that we beat them to get into the tournament. and then we beat them again to get into the championship game. So, I mean, look, I just wanted to throw that in there, big dog. I ain't want to interrupt your soliloquy you have, but I just like that part there ain't talked about enough.
It ain't. You know why? Because they too busy sucking Kansas off. That's why. They got too much J-cock in their eyes. That's what they got. Get the J-cock out of your eyes and realize your team ain't winning. We beat y'all to get there. What are you talking about?
And I don't celebrate like let's just go like to football or basketball or something like that, or even making it to the finals. I normally don't celebrate. I always separate. I'm all about the ships, right?
Yeah.
And when we won the Final Four, when we made it to the Final Four, they have championship hats of your respective region saying Final Four. And normally, like say, for example, like when the 49ers went to the Super Bowl a few years ago, I'm like, nah, I don't really sport any NFC West championship or NFC. I don't do that because if I buy this and we don't win the Super Bowl, it kind of reminds me of what we lost, right?
Yeah.
Same deal with the Lakers when we won in the bubble. They already had like NBA Finals hat that I wear on a podcast sometime. I'm like, well, I'm only going to get that hat if we end up winning the entire championship, and I did, right? And I was like, well, you know what, man? I'm not going to buy the Carolina Final Four hat because, we didn't win the championship. And I might have to amend that because, no, it does remind us of the championship that we lost. Again, salute to Kansas. But you know what it also reminds me of, Big V? It reminds us of that Final Four of the year and Lord and Savior Jesus Christ of 2022 when we beat Duke to go to the championship game. I'm going to buy me a Carolina Tar Heel Final Four hat, Big V. I'm going to buy it.
I might have to too. You know what? It makes it even more sweeter because
that's all I'm saying.
Oh my God, it does. It makes it even more sweeter.
Stuff like that, Big V.
I got to, bro. I may have to buy two. One to never wear and one to wear all the time.
I might do it. I think I'm going to do it.
That is nostalgic.
That Final Four hat.
It is nostalgic, dog, to a Carolina fan. Because it reminds us of what we did. We had to beat Duke to get there, and then we beat y'all ass again to get to the chip. What a season!
I'm getting a Final Four hat. I normally don't celebrate like the regionals or anything because that's not really that important. But I'm getting it. I think I'm gonna get it.
Fam. I have to. Dog. You know what? My heart is now 98%.
I'm glad I can help out.
Thank you, bro. My heart is 98% joyful, man, and 2%, man. That's all, man. You know what, man? That's all, bro. It's beautiful, man. You Duke fan, some of you Duke fans and non-Duke fans, you niggas out of pocket. Stop it. Just stop it. You look ridiculous, dog. You look ridiculous. Stick to your prospective team. You know what, Corey? As a Carolina fan, I can't even imagine me saying Kansas understood the assignment. After Duke just beat our ass in the first Final Four to get to the chip. Can you imagine?
I pride myself on jumping out there, win, lose, or draw. But the Final Four, to me, that game was way more nervous than the national championship game from a fan standpoint. I was more nervous about it because again, we talked about the last podcast, and I know we got to wrap. It's like the stress of you talking about how we beat Duke and Cameron Indoor on Coach K's last day coaching. But it's like, damn, will they have get back if they beat us for the Final Four? And you can argue that. Like, I, as a Tar Heel fan, can argue like, yo, man, as a Carolina fan, I could roll up on Duke and be like, yo, man, we beat y'all in Cameron Indoor, Coach K. Yeah, but we beat y'all to get to the championship. That kind of cancels each other out. But
big time.
We got bragging rights forever. I don't give a damn. Don't let nobody tell you different.
Don't let Carolina fans, do not let nobody tell you different. We got bragging rights over them Duke Blue Devils. I promise you we do. I promise. They know it in their heart, just like we know it, dog. They know it. Just cut the bullshit. Y'all niggas know it, man. Stop it. You out of pocket, niggas. Stop it. You know what I mean? But you know, Corey, man.
Go from bad to worse.
Oh my God. Corey. You know who else is out of pocket this year, man?
Whew.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, if you wonder why me and my co-host are taking deep breaths on this next topic, it's because it is it is very disgusting to report this news. But Corey, we got to tap in with the zone. The zone is out there and bring it to them and just try to take our fandom out of it as much as possible, man. But this subject is impossible for me to take my fandom out of. I promise you it is. Ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't heard, or if you have heard and aren't surprised, the Lakers lost last night, which eliminated them from being able to even make the play-in, let alone the playoffs. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to shed some light and hit some air horns for my co-host over here.
Yeah.
Because I didn't even know that my co-host was the male Mr. Cleo. Ladies and gentlemen.
And I wish I wasn't.
Trust me, I wish you weren't either. My co-host called it at the beginning of the season when I was so hyped, when I was fired up, when I was talking my shit. My co-host came on this exact podcast and said, "Hey, dog, what are you so hyped for? We ain't making the playoffs. Why are you so hyped about this team?" I want to quote. He called them the AARP team. If you don't know what that is insurance, people. He was telling me that, we are so old that they need some extra insurance on our guys that we had just got into town. I said, no, Corey, this train is going to take us to the finals. We cannot lose with the Russell Westbrook, LeBron James, Anthony Davis, and Carmelo Anthony. I told him. That's what I told him. I told him. It's documented. I told him. He said, "Hey, dog, stop it. You're not one podcast, at least two." He said, "Dog, the AARP team is not making it." Corey, this is terrible. As a Lakers fan, we don't know how to handle this. When this happened with Kobe, we didn't know how to handle it then.
Mm-hmm.
And we damn sure don't know how to handle it now. We are used to winning. We win a certain way. We go about our business as Lakers a certain way. We are a historic championship organization. Corey, we are. I don't know if people realize this. We are only 2 years removed from winning the chip, Corey. Just
feel like 20 years ago.
Corey, I had to check my date on my phone. I thought we was in 2028. It felt like fucking 8 years ago, dog. You know why?
Yeah.
Because this season was such a fucking drag that it felt like that many years ago because we've been sticking it up. We don't even look like Corey, we look like the Sacramento Kings.
Straight up.
We look like we never won a chip 2 years ago. I'm gonna give you an example, right? Even when Golden State were at their worst after losing Kevin Durant, and even after then when Curry was out for his stint with his ankles.
Yeah.
And it was basically Draymond kind of running the show with some young cats. It still felt like they had just came off a few championships. It didn't feel like quite over rebuilding Sacramento-ish fucking Washington Wizards type of year.
Yeah.
It felt like they were still kind of cooking up. Because you had a fucking Hall of Fame coach and fucking Kerr knowing how to coach guys such as a James Wiseman and newcomers of Wiggins and things of that nature.
Mm-hmm.
He know how to move them pieces, and this is no shot at Frank Vogel, by far. I'm just saying how it still felt like they had just came off a chip. Corey, this felt like Corey, I don't know what the fuck this feel like. It don't feel good. It don't look good either. Corey, I'm disgusted, dog. We're not even making the. I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna pass it to you, because I want this to be my final My final soliloquy core on this subject. It is the year 2022. A Lakers team of LeBron James, Anthony Davis, Russell Westbrook, and Carmelo Anthony did not get it done to even make the play-in.
You know, I said it. I said it in the top of August, where I was like, I don't know about this being a championship team. I doubt it severely. It's going to be a championship game, championship contending roster. Now, as the year goes on, you know, you can Monday morning quarterback the scenario and say, yeah, I told you so. This has been a season that was brought forth from the depths of hell. Okay. We just talked about expectations with the Tar Heels in our previous segments and how that shapes everything. Now, did I dream that we wasn't going to make the playoffs back in August? No. I said, I don't know about us getting out the West or being a championship team.
You did say that. You're right.
Big V, it's all right. It all ties into this. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, you're right. It don't matter.
It don't matter.
You're right.
Because the thing about it, Big V, is for you to at least have a shot at the play-in tournament. For those who don't know, you have to be ranked number 10th or higher in your respective conference. 10th.
God,
now,
dog.
Let me just do a little bit of math here, Big V. You have 30 teams in the NBA. 20 divided by 30 is 66.7%. So you know what that means, Big V? Almost 70% of the NBA teams have a shot. There's only 15 teams in this conference, Big V. Almost 70% of the teams have a legitimate chance of playing for a playoff spot. This isn't like baseball where it is conference winners only with one wild card or a wild card each. This isn't, even though NFL just expanded, this isn't like the NFL prior to the extended playoff game, or the play-in games rather, whatever, where you have 32 teams, but only 12 prior to the expansion. At one time, only 12 teams out of the 32 teams made the playoffs. Big V, even before we had the play-in games in the NBA, over 50% of the teams just by default will make the playoffs. And now that they done expanded that, so that jumped from 50% to almost 70%, 66.7, whatever. And never in my wildest dreams, under any circumstance, did I think that we wasn't going to have a shake at the play-in. Big V, I'm going to be honest with you. When the season first started, I was like, I don't know about getting out the West. I don't know about the championship. But I had us, give or take, as a 5 or a 6 seed. I'm like, I don't know about no championship, but I'm like, we're going to at least be respectable. Big V, the season is going to at least be competitive. See, Big V, I've converted to being a Lakers fan during the Kobe and Shaq era. And really almost at the end. I became a fan in like 1999, right during the middle of the Shaq and Kobe. That's when I really converted over. And so I am not really accustomed to, and I'm not used to okay, let me back up. When Kobe left with the torn Achilles and we're basically rebuilding from scratch, all right, that's fine. We're building a young team because normally, as I stated on numerous accounts, we are notorious for not necessarily developing players with the exception of the Magic Johnson era. We typically take people's free agents that wants to come to LA, use them as a mercenary, and win our ships.
Yep.
That's what I've been used to.
Yep.
Since
Robert Orr. Robert Orr days.
Robert Orr.
Yep.
There you go.
Yep. Fish.
Right? Like even though Kobe.
Yep.
There you go. And you even look at Kobe. Kobe was traded from Charlotte during that draft.
That's right.
Shaquille O'Neal was traded from Orlando. That's what we do, and I'm not ashamed of it. Right. And so when Kobe left and we started with the drafting of the Lonzo Balls and the Brandon Ingram, shout out to K-Town, you know, it was like, okay, this is something new. I'm going to have to get patient because I'm not used to waiting for 3 to 4 to 5 years of waiting for a team to bubble and then get champion. I'm not used to that, right? And so, you know, when we traded for LeBron, I went crazy. And why did I go crazy? Well, for one, it's LeBron James. That really says enough, right? But okay, let's add a little bit more. Those expectations was reset. Not necessarily that we're going to win 1,000 billion championships. My expectations was that we're going to be competitive again. We're going to make the playoffs every single year that he's here. That's what I jumped for joy like on that fateful July back in 2018, if I'm not mistaken. That's what I went crazy for. We are, even with LeBron James and all those young guys, I'm like, oh, we about to hit the playoffs. And then you got year one, Big V. Well, LeBron James goes down on the Christmas game and it never quite quite right. We beat the Warriors that year in the Christmas game. And I was super happy about that, but never couldn't quite. And I'm like, okay, well, without LeBron James, it's going to be more of the same. All right, cool. You push that off to the side. You don't even worry about that. But then we get Anthony Davis.
AD.
And I'm like, oh, we got AD, Big V. Well, now it done shifted from us being competitive to we are a championship ready-made team. There is no way in hell that you should be able to tell me I don't give a damn if LeBron James is 78 and a half years old.
Right.
There is no way that you're not going to tell me that with those two cornerstones that we're not going to at least be able to compete to come out the West. That was automatic. When we got AD, I'm like, oh, it's championship time. It's championship time. Let's go. No more excuses. And we got the championship. Great. And I'm super excited. And then it's kind of like the next year happened, short off season. You know, it's kind of like, okay, well, everybody's not able to really kind of re-up. The season started back, if I'm not mistaken, in like around December, late November, something like that. And, you know, we kind of stink that season up. And it's like, okay, well, cats haven't had the rest. You know, me as a fan, I'm making all the excuses. And, you know, Milwaukee ends up taking it. And then you get this year. And we get rid of Caruso. We get rid of Rondo.
KCP.
We get rid of KCP. And I'm like, well, okay, well, who are we bringing in? Okay, Russell Westbrook. We don't have to go over that. And then the other players, I like Malik Monk. Okay, I like Malik Monk. Okay, Bazemore. No, okay, all right, cool. Oh, Kendrick Nunn. Kendrick Nunn? Kendrick Nunn. Who the hell is Kendrick Nunn? Oh, you mean the guy on the bench who haven't played this whole entire season? That's who we get rid of KCP for? That's who we get rid of Caruso for? So, you know, I just never, ever dreamed that it would be this bad. You couldn't have paid me. You could have been like, Corey, we're going to put your job, your house, your car up and say, you know what? Y'all are not going to make the playoffs at all in any capacity. And I would have taken that bet. I'd be like, oh, no. We stink. But we don't stink that daggone bad. Big V, we stink that daggone bad. Now, the second part of your question, where do we go from here?
Where?
I have no earthly idea because there's already rumors that Frank V is going to be up out of here. He is a mere casualty of war at this point. He is not the reason for this here, right? And Katz is like asking Westbrook last night, well, do you want to come back? And of course, he answers, yes, I want to come back. Well, of course he want to come back. We owe him $47
million. Yeah.
So of course he's going to say that. And cats, and maybe somebody knows something I don't know, because it's like, oh, there's no way that Russell Westbrook is going to be on our roster next year. Says who? Who is going to? Because unlike the NFL, when you trade for a player, the salaries have to match. Who is going to pick that up? And if we're not trying to give up a pick for 2027, if Jeannie Buss and company is trying to hold on to that pick, we don't have any leverage. Big V, we could be stuck with this guy again next year. And not to say, go ahead.
Oh, just to add some context to what you're saying, next year he will be the highest paid player in the league.
Unbelievable. So, who? In order to make a trade, you got to have another team involved. Who is going to pick that up? So the next steps is that we try to trade for him, but I hope that Jeannie Buss and company is already working on, okay, well, what if he don't? Do we start to explore buyout options? Well, last time I checked, players, they have to agree to a buyout.
Yep.
Russell Westbrook don't have to do anything. All he have to do is live and breathe, and he will be on the Lakers roster next year. At best, we could maybe restructure and stretch the contract out. Instead of you getting $47 million next year, let's give you 20 and 20 and make up the 7. But he still has to agree. Nothing matters unless Russell agrees to it.
Yep.
So I don't know where we go from here. And not only that, I think, and I know this is going to sound crazy, and I don't really care, because having a season like we have will make you think crazy. I think AD needs to be on the trading block. I think that he needs to be brought up. It needs to be on the table. It needs to be on the table. It needs to be on the table to see what's out there. Here is the only, I would say there's a few people, I ain't gonna say unmovable. To me, LeBron James is the only unmovable guy. Mm-hmm. And let me, LeBron James have just as much fault with this as everybody else, because he pioneered for Russell Westbrook to come, even with that. Whether that's your boy or not, contractually, does it make sense? He knows that. So he shares some of the blame. And LeBron James, I'm speaking to you, even though I know you're not watching this. And don't get it twisted. I'm a fan of yours. I got a Lakers jersey in my closet, okay? So I'm a fan, damn it. But I know your style of, I only want to play with veterans. Can you please ease up on that?
Please.
Can we get a better mixture of up and young players? Can we do that? Because I get it. It worked in Miami, right? It worked in Cleveland, and it worked for us 2 years ago. So I'm not saying that your way has not worked in the past, but Janet Jackson said it best. What have you done for me lately? Mm-hmm. And so the next argument is going to be, well, LeBron James ain't got no help. Well, I agree. Anthony Davis can't stay on the court. Russell Westbrook don't know how to complete a pass or make layups anymore. So if I'm Lakers organization, I'm sitting LeBron James down, and I get it. He's an OG. It's a star-driven league. I get it. You run the risk of losing him or alienating him. But I would argue, Big V, this season here, we could not make the playoffs without LeBron James being on the roster. Yep. If that's what we're doing.
Yep.
But see, now I could see if I'm having this attitude where we done made a deep run in the playoffs.
Yeah.
I could see that. Dude, we could not make the play. We could finish 11, 12, 13 through 15 without you even being here. So if we're going to do that anyway, somebody needs to take their team back.
Yeah, facts.
Sorry if I pissed you off, LeBron James. But man, listen, your way isn't working anymore. We need to pivot. We tried it your way last year. It didn't work. Allow us the courtesy. Hey, we still want you to be the focal point. We ain't say you need to come off the bench. We ain't saying none of that. But you need to allow us to run our team now, because we tried it your way and it didn't work.
I agree. We're going to stay in tune and see what happened with these Lakers. over the off season, because our off season will be starting early.
It's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be crazy.
I can't
wait for it.
I have no clue where the Lakers stand. Couldn't even tell you.
None.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Oh,
if you don't know what time it is now time. It is now time.
Let's bring it.
It is now time, big dog.
Let's bring it.
Time.
Yeah.
It's time for the What the Hell segment. Let's go, Corey.
Hey, man. What's up, man? It's your boy COOL. What the hell? This segment created by Big V is being brought to you by me, solo. We done went diamond since we last had this podcast. In my mind, we went diamond, Big V. This is the craziest segment of all time. The only one that even comes close is your Outta Pocket segment. That's the only one. And when I tell you, it ain't even number 2. You got a 1A and a 1B, and however you feeling that day, it gets flipped. This is how crazy this segment is. And Big V, I want to say this.
Okay.
It happened again.
What happened?
It happened again. Big V, you would think one time is enough, but damn it, Big V, it done happen again.
Uh-oh.
Big V, what I am talking about, you guessed it, the infamous handshake line that did not occur between the North Carolina Tar Heels of Chapel Hill and the Duke Blue Devils of Durham, North Carolina. Big V, it happened again. It happened again. Big V.
Yes.
I didn't even care, but that still don't mean that you won't make the What the Hell segment. Big V.
Let's go.
The game is over. And first of all, let me give tremendous credit to Coach K. Mm-hmm. Again, we gave him credit last segment. I'm going to give him credit again. Mm-hmm. Because you want to know who was in the handshake line, Big V?
Who?
1, 2, 3. 3 people from Durham, North Carolina that represent the Duke Blue Devils. You had Coach K, who was classy enough.
Yep.
He is class personified. I don't care what you say. I've always respected that man. I just never liked the team that he coached for. Right? Wendell Moore, another class individual from the Duke Blue Devils. And then one of the assistant coaches, according to fansided.com of keepingithill.com, they don't name him. They don't name who the coach was. But they don't say that it was John Shire, who was supposed to be the coach of the Duke Blue Devils next year. Big V, it happened again. It happened again because Big V, after that game, you see Duke players going off the court.
Yep.
And I get it. I just got finished talking about how deep the rivalries run. It is the lifeline of collegiate athletics. Ain't nobody gonna tell me different, not even no Duke fan. But you know what, Big V? You want to let the players go into the locker room and cry? That's fine. I get it. The players cry when the championship run is over or when they get bumped out. I get that. I don't have a problem with that. But people will say, well, what about the adults in the room? Now, last time I checked, Big V, Coach K had more than one assistant head coach. Mm-hmm. Now, I don't know how many it is, but it's more than one. And when I tell you, Big V, you could have been in the desert and watched the barrel of hay just twirl around the dirt. That's how many Duke players, let alone coaches, was in that handshake line. Coach K waited for the celebration. Do you know how hard? The players is one thing, right? Fans are one thing. Can you imagine? And I can't believe I'm doing this, but again, I still respect this man.
Yeah.
It's hard for y'all. Imagine how hard it is for Coach K.
Oh my God.
It can't be any harder for Coach K.
No revenge to get back, nothing.
No revenge to get back. And he's sitting up here on the court watching us celebrate before we start the handshake line. If I'm not mistaken, let me see. I should have had this. My apologies here. I want to say it was roughly around 2 to 3 minutes of just watching us celebrate while Coach K is at the scorer's table waiting for the handshake line. Waiting for the handshake line. Now, half of the Tar Heels didn't go over there because they ain't see nobody over there.
Yep.
So, you know, I remember a few years ago, it might have been like in the early 2010s, where we were just really down and we slipped up and beat Duke. And I remember that the fans stormed the court.
Yeah.
And I had a Duke person tell me, oh, that's what y'all do now? Y'all celebrate beating us? And part of me was like, I like when the fans storm the court and the rubbing in y'all face.
1,000%.
But then the Duke fan was like, yeah, but y'all should expect to beat us sometime. Y'all Carolina. We don't storm the court when we beat y'all. I said, okay. So you're telling me, basically, anonymous Duke fan that will remain nameless, that Carolina fans wasn't classy when we stormed the court. You took that as disrespect because y'all are classy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, fine. Fans, short for fanatic. Not even tripping over that. Players, at the end of the day, you're talking between 18 and 22-year-olds.
Yep.
I give you that. But not once, but twice, where you got assistant head coaches not shaking the hand of Hubert Davis. What is that about?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know.
What? Fans, players. But what about the adults in the room, Big V?
Yep.
Duke, as a staff, record label, and as a crew. What the hell? Unbelievable. They did it again, Big V.
They did.
They did it again.
I'm so glad you touched on that because I was torn between that and the Duke and non-Duke fans because I peeped that. I peeped them start walking off and not coming to shake our hands.
I didn't even peep it initially.
I peeped it.
I was so happy we won. I didn't even peep it.
I peeped it because I noticed it and I thought I was crazy. But then somebody I know tweeted it. And I said, I knew I wasn't crazy. I knew they walked off and didn't come and shake our hands. Yeah, I peeped that. Definitely what the hell, man. Oh my goodness, man. What a week, man. What
crazy week.
What a crazy week, man. Corey, man, I hope it gets better. Thank everybody for listening, man, to the podcast and tapping in and watching the clips, however you be watching them. Social media, on our platforms, on YouTube, on SoundCloud. We'll appreciate it, man, so much each and every week, man. Word. Hopefully next week, man, we can have some good things to talk about. But, you know, we had to get this Laker news out the way. So I don't really expect it to really be coming in here talking too much Laker talk unless something big happens. You know what I mean? Right now, I have to live through these other playoff teams and just, you know, live through them in the play-in and the playoffs, man. That's all we can do.
Yeah. Man. Yeah, hopefully we'll just have a good playoffs without our team being in there. Hopefully it's just competitive, which I know it will.
I hope so.
It just kind of stinks when your team ain't in it.
It does. It really does, man. Corey, man, I appreciate you as usual, man. You know what I mean?
Appreciate you, my guy.
You enjoy your weekend, man. You know, I'll probably be hitting you up, man, to see what's going on. You know what I mean?
Word.
Maybe something crazy will happen in the sports world, man, you know, to get us all excited. You know what I mean? Something, man. Who knows, man? Until then, my guy, man, bro, be safe, man.
Peace, my guy.
Already.